my friend says, I've got to do up my flat. He says to me, I'm doing up my flat. And for the last 10 years, he's been telling me he's going to do up the flat. Okay? And it never got done. And I say to him, for the last 10 years, I says, why? And he says to me, every year for the last 10 years, because I can't live like this and it's disgusting. And I says, okay. And then the next year he'd set the goal and say, I'm going to do up the flat this year. And I says, why? He says, I can't live like this. 9 years went by, and I kept saying to him every year, do you realise the reason why you want to do up your flat is not a big enough reason for you to do it? Because as soon as you get a big enough reason, you will do up your flat. And he says, that's rubbish. You're programming my mind. You're programming my mind. And I said to him, for 9 years, you've been saying this. Has it been 9 years? Yes. I sent him a designer for free, an interior designer. She said she would help him. She told him how to do it so effectively, so cheaply, that made it look amazing. He still never did it. Then something amazing happened last year. He got a girlfriend. And she said to him, if you don't tidy this shithole up, I am going to dump you. And do you know what happened in 2 weeks? 10 years. He now had a thing called leverage. His reason for it was so big to him that he instantly did something which took him 10 years before. And you know what he said when he did it? I can't believe I thought it was such a big deal in my mind. And then this girl says she's going to dump me, and I suddenly do it. Now, if she said to him, if you don't make £1 million by the end of this year, it's over, he would have done it. What I'm saying to you is, whatever reasons that we think we have to do something right now, if we're not doing it, it's never a big enough reason. If we're not achieving it, it's not a big enough reason. Soon as you get a big enough reason, you will be surprised what your mind is able to do. Right, now listen. There was a guy I saw once, and he said something brilliant. He said, you could be sitting on a chair, and you're feeling comfortable, and you could see another chair down the road. You know, let's say it was like 400 meters over there. And someone says, that chair over there is beautiful, it's really comfortable. And you go, yeah. And they describe it to you, you go, that would be really nice to be sitting on that chair. And he says, the only time someone's going to get out of their chair and walk half a mile down the road to get into that chair down there is because when the chair they're sitting on is so uncomfortable that they have to get out of it. And they have a reason why they have to. Not would like to, not what they want, but they have to. And there's a big difference between those modal operators of would like to, want to, desire to, need to, got to, should, ought to, must. They're completely different. They motivate people and inspire people in completely different ways. So what I'm saying to you is, now, everybody would like financial freedom, and it's lovely. Now, everybody wants financial freedom, but not everybody gets financial freedom. But what will give you the financial freedom is some reason why you absolutely must have the money beyond yourself. Because if you're doing it for yourself and you're not achieving it for yourself, then you need something beyond yourself. Does that make sense? That will get you beyond yourself. You'll save more money and you'll find more money if you have a reason, and you'll see more if it's bigger than you. Hence, as I heard DeMartini once said, if you want to make a difference to yourself, make a difference to your family. You want to make a difference to your family, make a difference to your community. If you want to make a difference to your community, make a difference to your city, make a difference to your city, make a difference to your nation, make a difference to the nation, make a difference to the world. Want to make sure the world make a galactic, you've got to have some vast interstellar vision. So, if you're not making a difference to yourself, it has to be beyond yourself while you're doing it. If I want to make a difference to my family, right, I have to do something. If I want to make a difference to myself, I have to do something which will make a difference to my family. If I want to make a difference to Charlotte and all my children, I have to do something beyond them. Beyond them. I'd have to think, how can I help? You only get what you want by thinking beyond going, a cause, by the way, a cause. You only get beyond yourself if you're doing something greater than yourself. If you start thinking, I'm not saying you have to do it this way, but if I sat there and thought, how can I teach? This is not what you have to do. This is aligned with my values, right? How can I teach all these people in my area how to be financially free and get paid for it? Now, by doing that, that will make a massive difference to me financially as well. So you have a choice. You either sit there and wait for life to present you with something that makes you have to do it, right? Or you sit there and you think about something that you're driven on and you come up with a reason why. Do you realise, for example, do you know what Eric did to make a load of money? He went to a children's hospice kind of thing and went and saw these children that were disadvantaged and didn't have long to live and stuff like this. He said he was so sad. And then he thought, that is it, I'm going to make a load of money and I'm going to give 10% minimum of my money to these people every month. You find something beyond you. You will get what you want by helping others to get what they need and want. You find a thing that emotionally touches you and makes you cry, and you think, I've got to do this, I've got to do it for that thing. You will be shocked about what you achieve. It's no longer about, well, I want to have health and fitness, I want to tell my kids this, and I want to pass on some knowledge and stuff like this, and it's bigger than that. Does that make sense? It's bigger than that. It's bigger than you. It's them. It's outside of yourself, and then you'll be driven to do it for that. And you think, I've got to. Suddenly, your mind will see things beyond what you're currently thinking, because every reason why you're doing it right now is only enabling you to see what you're seeing now. In the same way, if my children were trapped in a car and Charlotte actually got to try and pick up that 4x4, rip open the door, the probability of her doing it with children stuck in there is far greater. She'd probably muster strength and muscles. Do you know a muscle is at its strongest when every single fibre contracts? Now, when you go weight training, you go to the gym and you push your muscles and you can't do another rep, you've only done about 40% of the muscle fibres. You got another 6% there. However, when people get an electric shock, that is the only time every single muscle fibre fires off at the same time. And half of the force which pushes you backwards is your muscle fibres contracting. And that's why people are in also massive pain because of the muscle fibres. Now, when somebody is in a fight or flight situation, every muscle fibre fires off. And you've had stories of mothers lifting up cars, picking up the car, and rolling it over or ripping some part of it off and getting their kid out. Suddenly, the reason is so big they come to do it beyond themselves. But if you said to them, if you pull open this door of this car, I'll give you £1 million, they won't be able to do it. Yeah, but there's £1 million in there. You'd be financially free. I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, there's £1 million in there. I can't do it. No, I can't. It's impossible. Put the child in there, and the car's on fire. See what happens to the parent. Go out and find something. Go out and find something that makes you think, I'm going to make so much money that I can help these people over here. I'm not saying this is what is true for you. But let's imagine you went out and you saw something and you thought, oh my God, I can't believe those people are suffering like that. It really gets me. I can't stand it. They're sick or dying children or this or that or whatever it is, right? And you saw and you thought, I need to set up some assets so that there's passive income constantly being generated and I can, for the rest of my life and my children's life or my future generations, that they can always ensure that that situation never happens and it helps those people in that scenario. You now have a reason to have assets and manage them and passive income streams. You now feel alive. You now know why you're doing it. You're now thinking bigger. Because the reason what you're doing now, you have to think to yourself, if I'm not doing it now, I don't have a big enough reason.